A warm welcome to all stakeholders present to the closing ceremony of Monthly's October chapter. I'm Manav Amin, the head of operations. I'd also like to introduce you all to the Secretary General, Mr. Ujjwal Agrawal, the Director General, Mr. Yasha Samtani, and the Deputy Secretary General, Mr. Ichan Khetan. To start us off, I'd like to invite the Director General, Mr. Yasha Samtani, to give us his address.
Thank you. So, greetings everyone, all our delegates, all our stakeholders present here. I'd like to welcome you all, as Manav said, to our closing ceremony of yet another chapter of Monthly. Now, months ago, when Monthly was just an idea, the vision we had, the motto we created was a consistent exercise in diplomacy. And notice the careful wordplay there. Consistent does not mean stagnant. We are an organization that founds itself on change. And we have seen this change as we've moved from one chapter to the next. And we do not mean change for the sake of change. We mean improvement. As we've moved, we've seen improvement in every facet of our organization, every facet of this conference, and we are proud of it. And with that, not only have we seen improvement, but we've seen scope for even greater improvement in the future, which we will irrefutably guarantee to you all. Now, I'd like to draw on an analogy. The United Nations itself um, functions by having small goals, sustainable development goals. Each and every committee and organ of the United Nations follows these. Similarly, we have a similar structure where we seek constant improvement and to create a better experience for all our delegates, as well as our chairs, organizing committee members, and secretariat members. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity to give my due thanks to a lot of the stakeholders involved in making Monthly the huge success it has been. Firstly, I would like to thank our sponsors and partners, over at Lumiere Education. We have partnered with Lumiere Education, a Harvard-based education firm that provides students with opportunities to research alongside PhD students and professors from renowned institutions such as Stanford, Harvard, and Yale. They have in fact sponsored all the cash prizes that'll be and awards that'll be given out during the closing ceremony and through the conference. And on top of that, they will also be providing scholarships for all monthly participants, upwards of $100, and even greater financial aid on their research scholar program to those delegates who win awards at monthly. So we would like to thank them, of course, for sponsoring us, for partnering up with us. And just to emphasize this, I'll be putting in the YouTube chat real quick their website, where you can not only look at their links and go to their website in case you are definitely, I'd expect a lot of you to be interested in registering for these programs with PhD students from such renowned institutions. On the link I've sent, there's also a link on our website to yesterday's session with Dhruva Bhatt, an international level debater, a Harvard graduate, and Rhodes Scholar at Oxford. So please don't miss out on this opportunity and definitely visit our partners over at Lumiere Education. Now, I now saying that, I'll be moving on to not looking at monthly as this metaphysical entity that has done all of this. All of this that everything we have done has been possible because of the faces behind this initiative. Firstly, I would like to thank my my co-founder and the current Secretary General and the Secretary General of this conference, Ujjwal. He was the one who, alongside me, took the leap of faith, took this initiative in enterprise and and a dream we had to create this consistent exercise in diplomacy. Whenever anyone asks me, what do you look for in a co-founder, or why did you choose him as your co-founder? Why did you choose each other? And the main it I can sum it up in one line: strengths where my weaknesses lie. And this instance, this chapter of Monthly has been a perfect instance of that very thing occurring. And we have complemented each other very well, and I'd like to thank him for that and all the efforts he has put in making this conference the success it has been. Next, I'd like to thank our Deputy Secretary General, Ishan. Ishan has been the oil to the machinery and the gears themselves. Registrations, ambassadors, organizing committee. He has been there to turn the cogs and make sure each and every one is spinning as fast as they can. And for this, he deserves due thanks. And moving on, Manav, our head of operations, has made sure that every single aspect of the organization and of the operations, especially within the organizing committee, has been very smooth, and that all delegates, all chairs have received a very hospitable experience, as we hope they have from Manav's efforts. Saying that, I won't take up too much of your time. Now we'll be moving on, and I'll hand the floor back to Manav.
Thank you, Yashas. I now invite the Secretary General for his address.
Thank you so much, Manav. Thank you so much, Yashas, for that speech. I know everyone is really, really looking forward to the awards, and accordingly, I won't take up a lot of your time. But there are a few thanks that I need to give, and the conference wouldn't be possible without these. So, firstly, thank you to all the delegates for choosing Monthly. Uh, Secondly, to all the EB members who took out the time to mentor these delegates, who use their experience and knowledge, and I'm sure this has been instrumental in their model UN journey and affected how they view the world. Um, Next, of course, the OC members who have worked really hard in times of unexpected crisis. Your commitment and hard work has kept me and the entire team motivated. The ambassadors who have spent multiple hours approaching and convincing delegates for the conference and making it possible. And of course, the secretariat. You have been the backbone of this conference. And I would like to thank all of you for showing us that if the right spirit exists, then the pursuit towards excellence is pretty achievable. Firstly, Ishan, our Deputy Secretary General. It would probably take me an hour if I go into the details of thanking you for everything. But to say the least, I wouldn't Monthly and I wouldn't have had the confidence we have without you. Manav, thank you so much for supporting me and understanding me when no one else did. You have kept me going for times when I thought that I might burn out. Lastly, my co-founder and director general Yashas, thank you so much for everything, man. There wouldn't have been a conference without you, and that's to say the least. Lastly, to the United Nations for existing and allowing us to practice global diplomacy. No MUNs can be without you. I hope that every single stakeholder got what they expected out of this conference, and we wish to see all of you very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ujjwal. Now let's move on to what I'm certain all the delegates are most certainly waiting for, which is the award ceremony. Firstly, I'd like to invite the chairperson of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, Mr. Abir Tiwari, to announce the committee awards and for his remarks.
All right, first of all, a very good evening to everyone. I cannot begin without without thanking the Secretariat for inviting me. Maybe, I mean, inviting won't be the correct term, I think, because I was called at the 12th hour by a very close friend of mine, Aaron Kadri, who was supposed to chair the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. However, he had some commitments. It's okay. I'm happy about the fact that I got another MUN to chair and another exposure, new people, new faces. And NATO was something that I had never tried, and this was something more of an experiment with for me. And I think I did justice to the committee as such. Talking about the committee, my committee was a committee of mixed students or slash delegates with experience ranging from 0 to 8 or 9 for that matter. And we had a 1.5-day committee, not completely 2-day committee. So we had a lot of discussion, and I would say informal, more of an informal thing, because we were having pep talks, because 98% of the people were nervous about speaking, about what to say, what not to say. So most of the time was dedicated to that. However, the committee picked up pace on the second day, where they started playing the blame game and allegations and everything, and they started screaming and everything for the sources. And how can you say that the your air force is the best, my air force is the best, and everything. Typical USA France behavior that we can expect from the delegates. However, I'm sure that the delegates would go to great heights and achieve great success in their work. And thank you to the OC member who was a constant support in my committee, to whom I was yelling as well to do this, to do that, and I'm sorry for that. However, I'll just go ahead with the awards. My committee, the special point with my committee is the fact that there is no best delegate, because I told them very frankly that none of you deserve best delegate. Work hard in other committee and you'll get the best delegate. However, I have a high commendation, a joint special mention, and 3 verbal mention. I'll start up with the verbal mention. The verbal mentions in specific order goes to: first, the delegate of the French Republic; second, to the representative of Slovakia; third, to the representative of Greece. The joint special mention goes to the delegate of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and the representative of Croatia. Congratulations. And the high commendation, who still needs work, so don't be overconfident even if you get this award, goes to the delegate of the United States of America. Congratulations to all of you, and keep running and be successful and safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming at such a short notice. And I think he has some urgent. Okay, he's here. Okay.
I'll just take leave, everyone. Thank you all for inviting me over, and just best of luck to all.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much. It was an honor having you.
Okay, moving on. Unfortunately, Mr. Subandhu was unable to attend the ceremony, and so I invite the Director General to announce the awards for the Security Council in his place.
Of course. So, before I continue with the awards for the Security Council, I would like to emphasize my thanks once again to the entire executive board. What we've seen in the executive board in this instance was a lot of resourcefulness and ingenuity in their handling of each of the committees, which must be noted. Now, moving on, the president of the United Nations Security Council would like me to convey his best wishes. He unfortunately couldn't be here at the closing ceremony. That's why I, your Director General, will be handing out the awards. But he conveyed his best wishes and stated that you were a very bright young lot of learners, and you had tremendous scope for going forward with Model UN and in long-term life success as well. So he was very proud of your performance, and I believe all the delegates should know that. Now, moving on, I actually sat in the United Nations Security Council in this instance for quite a few hours not hours, but quite a few sessions on both the first and second day of the conference. And the United Nations Security Council under the South China Sea issue was a topic that I'm very familiar with, and I could see the flair within those delegates. We had PRC, Russian Federation, the United States of America, all going back and forth. And while it got very chaotic at times, this was the embodiment of how a model UN Security Council should be. And I was very glad to see that the delegates were very well researched. Now, moving on, for the verbal mentions for the United Nations Security Council, we have the delegate of France and the delegate of Malaysia. Please give it up for them. Congratulations to both of them. Now we'll be going to the special mentions. There are 2 special mentions. The first special mention goes to the delegate of India. And the second special mention, these were in no particular order, goes to the delegate of the United States of America. And now, for the top two, the High Commendation and the Best Delegate. The High Commendation Award goes to a delegate who stands as in whose portfolio I have embodied throughout my Model UN career as a very bold and exciting one. This one goes to the delegate of the Russian Federation. A huge round of applause for him. And lastly, for the United Nations Security Council, the Best Delegate Award, the most pivotal, the most controversial portfolio there is in the South China Sea issue, the Delegate of the People's Republic of China. Please give it up for him, the best delegate. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite the chairperson of WMHC, Ms. Dhruvi Thakkar, to present the committee awards and give us her final address.
Hello, everyone. The very first of all, I would like to thank Yashash and Ujjwal for inviting me. It has definitely enhanced my experience. Coming to the committee, it was very enthusiastic. I mean, there were first timers who were competing with the MUNers having 13 MUNs experience. So it was very competitive. The initiative they took, the solutions that they brought, and even when I gave them some time to discuss or write draft resolution or working paper, they declined that time and they said we want to discuss more on other topics. And I have never chaired a committee with so many moderate caucus. They had so much to talk about, and definitely everything was very, very important. So the committee was a huge success. Without taking much of your time, I would like to go with the awards. Um, there are two verbal mentions. They are in no particular order. The first one goes to Royal Australian and New Zealand College of Psychiatrists, and the other one goes to Independent Psychiatric Association of Russia. Congratulations. Special mention, there are two special mentions. They are also in no particular order. The first one goes to International Association for Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, and the other one goes to American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Coming to high commendation, it goes to European Federation of Psychologists Association, and the best delegate goes to American Psychological Association. Congratulations to everyone, and in my view, all of you are the winners.
I just
Thank
like
you
to
for having me.
emphasize the best delegate in the World Mental Health Congress is the delegate of the American Psychological Association, is actually a 2 times best delegate. In our September chapter, he came in another committee to win the best delegate award, and I really believe this deserves a great amount of recognition. He has shown that in our consistent exercise in diplomacy, there is a consistent exercise in success from him. So congratulations, Ibrahim.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, once again, Mr. Adit could not attend as well. And so I invite the Secretary General to announce the awards for HAIPPM.
Thank you so much, Manav. I shall be giving away the awards for the HAIPPM committee. Unfortunately, Adit sir couldn't be here. He had something urgent to attend to. But his reviews were similar to most EB members. He was really proud of the committee. Although he saw a lot of first timers making mistakes, he told me how he noticed everyone trying their best to improve and how he saw an immense amount of dedication towards the end of the committee. Now, moving on to the awards, Adit wants to give out two special mentions, one high commendation and a best delegate. The special mentions in no particular order go to VP Singh and Vijay Kumar Mishra. Congratulations. The high commendation goes to T. Aniha. Um, this delegate performed amazingly well on both of these days. And let me tell you, there was a very, very small gap between the best delegate and the high commendation in terms of the points they received. And finally, the best delegate award goes to Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Leading from the front, this delegate performed excessively well during both of these 2 days. And Adit wants me to also add that all of these delegates are extremely potential in terms of Model UN, and he wants to see them again at both monthly and Model UN conferences in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I now call upon the chairperson and co-chairperson of the FIFA committee, Mr. Neeraj Adnani and Mr. Man Patel, for the awards and their final remarks.
Thank you so much, Manav. FIFA was an absolutely fun-filled committee with tactical wars and football debates, simulations of football games. We even had a deadlock between two delegates, and we had to hold a virtual penalty shootout, which is like very rare in this committee. There were so many people who performed brilliantly. I think this was the first time this committee has been held. I think not first, actually second or third time, but so many people performed so well, having not even heard of this committee before. And unfortunately, we only have a few awards to give away. Man, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Manav, and good evening, everyone. So I'll directly come over to the awards. So the special man, we've got two special mentions and three verbal mentions. So let me start with the verbal mention. It goes to Real Madrid, Chelsea, and the delegate of Inter Milan. For the special mention, we have Bayern Munich and Arsenal. And the high commendation goes to, okay, I'll leave it to the chairperson. Let him.
Yeah, so the moment which everyone in this committee has been waiting for is the best delegate, which will be awarded to the winner of the final of the tournament. There was again the slightest of differences. There was only a 0.5 point difference between the best delegate and the high commendation. Our best delegate for today is the delegate of Liverpool and Manchester City. Manchester City receives a high commendation not because he was a finalist in this committee, but due to his consistent performance on both days of the session. I think he was one of the best debaters in both these days. And that's all from FIFA. Thank you, delegates and the secretariat. I'd like to thank my co-chair Man and Krish, who was the OC member in my committee. I'm sorry for all the trouble I gave you guys. Thank you so much, Ujwal. He's my dear friend. He gave me this opportunity. He's the Secretary General. Thank you so much for introducing FIFA to Monthly.
Thank you so much, Neeraj. Thank you so much for inventing this new format, and I'm sure that the delegates had an amazing time. I had an amazing time spectating.
We already have delegates asking when's the next one for FIFA.
Exactly. And I had such a fun time spectating, even though I'm a very big noob at football. I don't know a lot. But considering the matches and how you were able to simulate real life football matches by tactics in committee was just amazing. And I wish to keep this as a permanent format in monthly.
Thank you, Neeraj and Man. Moving on, I call upon the President and Vice President of UNHRC, Ms. Theodora Toma and Mr. Karandeep Gill, for the committee awards and their remarks.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to thank you all for having me here, for giving me the chance to be part of Monthly. This past weekend, I saw another level of improvement, growth, and collaboration between delegates in the committee, which I haven't seen before in a virtual conference. The delegates were really passionate, not only about the topic, but also about working with each other and helping each other. I believe every single delegate in UNHRC has improved immensely over this weekend. Thank you to all the delegates for such an amazing committee, and I hope that I will see you in future months.
I'll take over from here. Thank you to Audra for those remarks for the delegates. So first of all, thank you to the Secretariat for having me here. Thank you, Ujjwal sir, for trusting in me and for inviting me here after a great conference in previous edition. This committee was very large in size, but still the delegates found ways to coincide and debate well. All the delegates had put a lot of hard work in making this committee a success. I would like to add that awards are not everything in a MUN conference. It is the experience that we earn. And I believe after such, heated debates, everyone got to learn a lot. And we had many first timers who actually outperformed the experienced ones in many ways. With that said, UNHRC committee has many awards, and I will be announcing special mention and verbal mention. So we have 4 verbal mentions. in no particular order, and those goes to Delegate of Iran, Delegate of United Kingdom, Delegate of Germany, and Delegate of Turkey. Please give them a big round of applause. They did a lot of hard work over the weekend. Congratulations, delegates. Then we have two special mentions, that too with in no particular order, because both of them were really special and they contributed a lot to the committee. One of them was very famous in the confession box. So the special mention goes to the delegate of People's Republic of China and Russian Federation. Congratulations, delegates. And the high commendation and best delegate will be announced by the president. So Teodra, over to you.
Yes, so the high commendations goes to the delegate of South Korea. Congratulations, delegate. And the most weighted award goes to the delegate of United States of America. Congratulations. It was a great pleasure to be here with you all. And again, thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much, Theodora, for coming all the way from Romania. I know the time difference
Absolutely.
is a problem, but you've taken out the time and your hard work is really, really inspiring. Also, I'm really sorry for troubling you at times when you had previous commitments and I wanted you to stay, but thank you so much for being with Monthly, and I hope to see you again in the next session, right?
And of course, thank you, Theodora, and thank you, Karan, as well. Both of them are returning executive board members, and both of them have shown incredible promise in the way they run their committees and their knowledge of each of the portfolios of the agenda and of the committee.
Really, really grateful to you.
Thank you.
And that does it for the awards. I'm sure all the winners are very thrilled. And I'll just take up a small portion of your time now and say that as the head of operations, I'm extremely proud of how the OC members handled all the work they had been assigned. And I know that their dedication has aided the smooth functioning of this conference to a very heavy extent. So thank you for that. And thank you to all the OC members, especially some of you who I pulled in at the last moment. And you fulfilled your roles admirably, even though it was on the spot. So thank you for that. And thank you to all of our dedicated ambassadors who brought us such wonderful delegates from all over the world who succeeded in producing such fruitful debate throughout the course of this conference. I think without such diligent and hardworking, well-connected ambassadors, we never could have had the convergence of so many talented individuals as we have had in these 2 days. So thank you so much. That being said, I now invite the Secretary General to declare this conference closed.
I, Ujjwal Agrawal, Secretary General of Monthly Edition 2.0, declare the conference closed.
That's a wrap.
Conclusively, on behalf of Monthly, I thank all of our dedicated delegates, executive board members, ambassadors, organizing committee members, and secretariat members for playing such a consequential part in the success of our October chapter. With this, the closing ceremony comes to an end, and we hope to see all of you again very soon. Thank you all.